Yeah, what's up? What's up, what's up? Thank you. Thank you. God bless. You got it. Good morning. What's up, everybody? My name's Keith Kalfas, and today I want to talk to you about grit. There's a lot of people who got the invitation to be here today, but you showed up. You're doing the work, and you got this. You know, the last couple years have been kind of weird, lots of ups and downs. And there was so much momentum, we were so focused, but then a lot of us have actually downshifted into discouragement. And we're like, what happened? I was so focused over here, and I was crushing it. I could get up and just crush it all day, and especially over the last year. We've downshifted. And it's kind of funny, because it's really hard to find your grit and to reach down and pull that person up that you know that can crush it every day when that person's not even there. And you could become a shell of yourself and look in the mirror and be like, well, what happened? And there's also some really successful people in this room who have crushed it and they're just coasting. So today, I want to tell you some powerful stories about how I found my grit and how I found my grit in honoring and putting God first. It's changed my whole life. I can feel the energy in the room today. It's palpable. This is the 6th year of Entrepreneur Academy. And people come here and they have conversations that get their lives changed. But we're here right now. Who's ready in Entrepreneur Academy today? Let's get it. So year 6 of my landscaping business, bro, I thought I had it dialed in. I thought I had it figured out because I had been through the ups. I've been through the really low lows. I've been through the discouragement, the breakdowns, the depression, and then I came back up. I've taken the online courses. I've been to the events around the country. I've read the books. And this time, this spring and this summer, I hired some new people. I went out, I said, that's it. I got my sales system down. I got my processes. I know how to communicate and articulate and how to build rapport with customers. We've got the CRM.
If you're sick of wearing multiple different hats and you really need a CRM software to run your business on, look no further than Jobber. Jobber now uses the power of AI. It not only does the billing, invoicing, payment collection, follow up with your customers, ask them for positive 5-star reviews automatically after you've left the job, but it also collects tips from the customers if they want to leave a tip. You just turn on the button, ask customer for tip, and I'm getting like $160, $250. I even had a customer leave a $600 tip with Jobber tips. And with Jobber payments, it automatically gets put into your business checking account. Here's the cool part. Jobber's virtual receptionist is insane. It's an AI receptionist that answers the phone and talks to your customers like a real virtual person, takes down all their information, books a quote, whatever you need. This is the future. So if you're super excited about taking your business to the next level and taking one of these hats off, Jobber helps you do all the administrative function of your business so you can focus on what matters, taking care of your customers, making money. I'm a Jobber ambassador, so you can get a totally free 2-week trial of Jobber software and a huge discount with my exclusive link. Just open up your browser and go to getjobber.com/Kalfas. That's Kalfas. Kalfas. Getjobber.com/Kalfas. Go there now, sign up, and if you need help, the Jobber team will hop on a Zoom call with you and walk you through setting it up in your business. This is easy. Do it. Let's go. Let's go. Now back to the show.
I understand how contracts work. I understand change orders. We're licensed and insured, all that. Everything is legit. I'm like, bro, I'm bulletproof. I got this now because I want to take care of my family and take everything to the next level. right? You get to the point where you're sick and tired of your own story and you're just an effective executive. So I go out, we're crushing it, and I get a call, we answer the phone, qualify the customers over the phone, and I show up, I'm pumped. I got my shirt tucked in, embroidered shirt, nice hat, my truck's clean, and these customers, they want a quote. The husband and wife are there, so that's good. This is a good sign already. And I start walking around the property already with them, and I have good vibes immediately. I'm like, yes, I got this in the bag, right? Because I'm not showing up to just waste my time or their time. We're showing up to get a signature and a deposit check and book them. Let's go, right? So I walk around the property with these customers, and immediately I'm very, very calm, present, listening to them, describing their wants and needs. The entire property was completely overgrown, by the way. I mean, so much work needed to be done. Where there was garden beds with all the decorative stone, there's weeds growing through it, there's juniper shrubs come all the way out past the garden bed onto the grass. The crabapple trees are just looking crazy. The ornamental trees in front of the house, in front of the bay windows, they're touching and rubbing the house. I'm looking all over the place, and I see opportunities, I see money, and that's one of the things we talk about, how you can turn our average ticket job of $360 into $1,650. But we're trying to sell jobs at $4, $5, $6, $7,000, because when you notice opportunities on people's properties, you're a servant and a good steward, you call that out. Hey, we can solve that problem for you. And they're like, oh, let's add that too, let's add that too. So they might call you for a $500 or $700 little job, and you can turn it into a $3,000 job in 15 minutes, because they have a problem, you have the solution, sign here. It's pretty simple. When you're qualified and they see you're qualified, you have a professional website, like I did it all, right? So as I'm walking around the property with these customers, they're giving me good vibes, and I'm saying all the right things. And I even like to do this thing, it's a tactical thing for some customers. If they're talking about something like, what about these boulders or rocks in the garden bed? I'll actually bend down and I'll start moving stuff and looking like, I'm not faking, I'm being for real. I'm looking at the weed barrier fabric and looking at the edging. I'm like, yeah, we can fix that. Do you want that done? And if I'm walking a property with a customer and they skip over a garden bed that they express that they want something fixed on, I'll say, well, 1 second, let's back up. If they want to go too quickly, I want to clarify this area. So do you want this done too? Like this or like this? And as I'm doing that and asking a lot of qualifying questions, they're going, oh, okay, this is the guy, right? And also expressing that my crew will come and we're just going to crush it. Like they don't have to worry about anything. So as I walk around the whole property, 360 degrees for about 50 minutes, we get back to the front of the property, and I got other quotes to be to. I'm busy, so if you hang out a little too long and you're just a little too relaxed, the customers are like, what's going on here? Is this guy busy? If you have this kind of almost extemporaneous, let's get it, let's go, they like that because they know you're busy and you're crushing it. So I have all that dialed in. I know this. So we get to the front of the property, and we're standing in front of the house, the garden beds. It's like a $700,000 house. And obviously these people are successful. And we talk a little bit more, and I'm like, so I give them the price. But something I did that was kind of silly. I like to experiment with hyper vulnerability and transparency when it comes to the business, sometimes to the point of being cringy, just to test on a case-by-case basis, like that I'm drawing the line in the sand, we're here and we're going to do this for you, we're going to crush it. So I literally told the customers, hey, this is what some other companies would charge for this. I think it would be like about the same to less price as mine. At this time, it was about $4,000, right? And I said, I'm just literally going to go ahead and just tell you what my bottom line is. Dumb move. And I said, because I want to be honest. I never want to lie, because I'm going to talk about this later. There's 3 things that you're going to walk away today with. And one of them right here is, I don't want to speak a lie to my customer, but the world of business is very adversarial. It's commerce. It's like a totally different jurisdiction. So it causes this moral dilemma. I was totally honest. I was like, $3,600. We can come here. I look at my calendar, like in 3 weeks from now on a Tuesday, we'll get all this done and we'll be here in a little over a day, maybe a day and a half. And I was confident that I was going to close the job right then and there. Everything was perfect. And then as soon as I spoke that in complete sincerity, I was good. The husband and his wife are standing there, and the husband looks at me and he goes, well, I'll give you $2,500 cash. But he said it almost like in a cocky way, like of disrespect. I was like, well, I have a lot of overhead expenses. We're a fully licensed and insured 5-star agency. I expressed and educated him the reasons why we cost what we cost, of how he's not going to have to worry about anything. He's just going to have to write the check and we'll solve the problem. And I expressed that we are confident I'm confident in my price and in my ability. Now, this is a $3,600 job. It's not anything too crazy. But then he looks at me again, he goes, nah, you can do better than that. Like, come on, give me your best deal. And then I just stood there. I was like, no, I'm actually telling you for real. This is literally my best deal, and we're going to do a phenomenal job. We're going to crush it for you, and you don't have to worry about anything. Like, we're the best. Like, I do this full time, and we're going to crush it. And he's like, and he looks at me with this disdain. Like, all of a sudden, I realized this husband and wife, this doesn't happen every day, but they didn't care about me at all. They were literally just trying to juice me to get the best deal possible. I wasn't even a human to them. And dude, I really work, and I've read the books on controlling your emotions, emotional IQ, all this stuff, and how to, let stuff water off a duck's back. But the way that this man looked at me and disrespected me, it was like he took everything that I had been working for this past 6 years and fighting and struggling and suffering and succeeding and going in the pit and breaking through and doing the work. And I was there and I was ready. It was like you're nothing, bro. Like, all of a sudden, the way he looked in my eyes, it was almost like, I don't want to go there. I became, my body filled with this feeling I hadn't felt in a long time. And I'm kind of embarrassed, but I felt rage. Like, are you disrespecting me right now? In this moment, something flipped inside of me. I almost just went nuts and started screaming at them. Like, right on there, we're in a beautiful neighborhood, birds are chirping, it's summer, 11 a.m. I literally was this close, and the way that, I sound mean right now, but the way that the wife was just like, it was almost like this is their game plan or something. I felt so incredibly, disgustingly disrespected. It was like I was this close, I felt it. I feel it right now. I was like, I just wanted to, and I held my tongue, and I said, now they missed out. I said, I don't want somebody else to come here and do a bad job. Like, I really actually care. You might hire someone else trying to find this good deal, and you get what you pay for. I'm the dude. And then they continued to do this haggling, and I said, you know what? I composed myself, because now it just became noise, and I said, I don't think that we're a good fit. So I hope you have a great day, and I hope that everything works out, and I have other quotes to be to, and thank you very much. I was a little nervous. I was like, but take care and have a great day. And as I try to leave, they start to haggle me more. Now I'm literally this close from flipping out. So I want to interject something real quick. When I was a young man, about 18, 19, I was frustrated. I had lived in, I've counted. I've lived in 31 homes, including, we lived in 2 homeless shelters. I've had a beautiful life, but I slept in my car. We bounced around from place to place, Section 8 housing, government assistance, food stamps, legit homeless, right? And I've slept on people's couches. I slept in basements, and I was very frustrated looking at other people and comparing myself to other people, just wanting to be successful growing up. And it was bad programming that caused a lot of negative self-talk that I was working through. And also to add to that, at 26, I sat in a hospital because I got the phone call that my mom had mixed crack with heroin. and she fell unconscious and was no brain activity. We had to go to the hospital, and I had to put my hand on my mother's forehead, and we had to pull the plug, and I had to watch my mother pass away. So, like, I know what it's like to struggle, and I know what it's like to have to pull up and have grit. Like, I've been through it for real, bro. And a lot of my best friends, I've had 6 best friends that have, I don't want to depress anybody here, but they're not here anymore, right? Anyways, back to the story. In that moment, I saw this vision of a Keith Kalfas that I am not, flipping out, yelling at these customers. And we had a family reunion several years ago, and one of my cousins was there. I won't say any names, but he was younger than me, and he had lived the same life that I lived, and all right, I'll tell you. So my family is amazing. There's a lot of unconditional love. I did not plan on telling this. My cousins like to joke. I mean, we had a riot growing up. But my younger cousin, he was about 19 at this point. We were at a family reunion, and my grandmother who had passed away, she was in a wheelchair behind. We were just, I don't know what she was doing, just getting some shade or something. And he said, where's Grandma? Where did Grandma go? And then the one cousin said to him as a joke, oh, they're back there with Grandma smoking a joint. So he thought this was real. He believed it, and he flipped out and he went into rage in front of the whole family reunion and started screaming and yelling and calling everybody, you guys are all white trash. And then he got in his pickup truck and he peeled off, and I hadn't seen him since.
Hello, my friend and Untrapped podcast listener. I would love to see if you qualify to become a member of our Untrapped Alliance private group, where we go live every other Wednesday night and we work on our business. This is a focus group and our members love it. Go to keithkalfas.com/alliance. I'll see you there on a Wednesday night's call.
This is but as I watched this happen, I had tears in my eyes because I was looking at that man. He had rage and he was trying to be a hero and express, I'm not like this. I'm trying to be better than this, and you're back there smoking a joint with Grandma. So when I saw him have rage like that and leave, my heart went out to him, and I said, we don't do that. We don't do that. And I actually went around and comforted my family, and I held composure, and we got over it. But so, back to this job, I was like, you know what? I had to actually walk away while they were talking. I said, it's not a good fit. I have other quotes to be to. I'm sorry. Have a nice day. And they were just like perplexed or something. So I get in my truck. I'm shaky. I'm nervous. I start the truck. I look at my next quote. I drive off. And I was so enraged and so disrespected that I took out my camera and I'm like, I'm going to make a YouTube video real time. And I want to vent this out. And so I did vent it. I told the story really quick. I was going to have him play it here, but it's not a good look because I actually took the video down because it went nuts. It got like 21,000 views within 35 minutes of people in the comments saying, yeah, get him, Kalfas, yeah, get him. Dude, there might be someone in here that's seen that video. And I literally looked in the camera and I was like, don't you disrespect me. Don't you disrespect me. I was losing it. And I vented all that out. And I had to pull over in my truck because I was so pissed off. I was shaking. And I had to recompose myself because I had other quotes to be to. And I know that no matter what you're going through or how a customer treats you, it's never, ever, ever admissible or okay to have a negative energy with the next customer. It's not their fault. That might be a jackpot job, right? You have to maintain your composure and be responsible for the energy that you bring around people or in an environment. So I maintained my composure and I sat in my truck and I just meditated. And then I started to break down because the discouragement came in. And I thought about when you're living moment to moment, breath to breath at times, or you have anxiety, one failure, or one thing that doesn't work out can feel like it's happening everywhere at once. Like, oh, this is the direction this is heading. I can't afford this right now. I need this to work. And so I sat in my truck and I was broken. It was like it signaled all of the reasons of the negative self-talk that told me why I wasn't worthy. And I've heard about, my other friends. I just get off the phone with another friend. He's like, bro, we just did 5 million. We did 165,000 this week. And I was like, and that's one of the other things I'm going to talk about, the third thing. So me going through this while hearing about other people crushing it was eating me alive. It was ripping me apart. I was in the pit, bro. So I got it together. And I went to the next quote. And this is where we set the demarcation line. This is the difference that makes the difference. The demarcation line is when you're in the pit and you say, who am I going to be right now when I'm down on my knees? Who am I going to praise when times aren't only good, but when times are bad? That's God, of course. And I said, I've been down that path where I've stuck my head in the sand, where I've given up, and I felt like I couldn't do it. And I've actually tucked my tail in between my legs, and I just wanted to go home and go to bed because it was too overwhelming, beating myself up. So I said, you got to pull yourself together, Kalfas. This is not it. Like, I know. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go crush it anyway. I'm going to go crush it anyway. I'm going to go close these next jobs, and I don't care what it takes, because this is who I am. So I go to the next quote, and husband and wife comes out again. But this time they're smiling. Everything's fine. But my energy, what happened a few minutes ago or an hour ago, doesn't even matter. It's water under the bridge. Husband and wife come out, and instantly I build a rapport with them, and I'm talking with them, walking around their property. Again, everything on their property needs to be done, even more than the first one. Like I was talking about the garden beds and the rocks and stuff growing through. They had these huge arborvitaes that go around the pool. In Michigan, there's tons of pools with arborvitaes that are 28 feet high, and they all need to be trimmed. And if you have the proper tools and you have the work ethic, you can make a lot of money and do a lot of landscape redos, installs, rip out, redo garden beds. These people needed it all done. So as I'm walking around the property, very confident, I'm just listening, stopping, listening. And I said, we can do all of this for you. We can totally do this. We can crush it. And I asked qualifying questions. And the customer, he had the sense that he just knew that I was the right guy for the job. So with my grit and with my guts and my determination and with my confidence, I stood there and I said, you're looking at, it was like $16,500 right now, and we can come out here in 2 weeks on a Monday and get this thing started. And he looked at me, he goes, if I pay you an extra, I think it was 4 weeks out or 5 weeks out, we were really booked. He goes, if I pay you an extra $1,500, can you get out here a little sooner? I was like, well, let me look at my calendar. This doesn't happen often. So I look at my calendar, I'm like, it's gonna be tough, I don't know. Because when someone dangles money in front of you, you have to behave like integrity comes first, it don't matter. So I say, well, that's really nice and I appreciate your consideration and your offer, but matter of fact. So we were able to come out there in 2 weeks on a Monday and start. We had some commercial property, we could just move it around. And we started it, and then there were some change orders, and it was $19,500. Boom, sold. On the spot, in about 15, 20 minutes, with a signature and a deposit credit card transacted through our CRM, and it was done right then and there on the schedule, booked with a deposit check, and it was easy. I was like, boom, let's get it. So here's what I did. I walked around the property of the customer, and I want to actually tell you what was part of that job. Because when I give customers a quote, it's important to be very clear and express what's going to happen and how things are going to go. And this builds a lot of trust and actually alleviates tension and future tension if you're doing bigger landscaping jobs, right? So 1, whole property garden bed makeover. So I put this in item lines in full description inside of the CRM and send this to them. Trim all trees and shrubs on property as needed. And you can have a rule in there, everything up to 15 feet or something like that. So it's clear that you're not going to be trimming frickin', 80-foot tall poplar trees. But they didn't have that. 2, backyard. Trim all privacy arborvitae shrubs around backyard property line with 16-foot orchard ladder and pole extension trimmers, and clean all debris, including raking out and removing dead matter from underneath. So when you trim arborvitae shrubs, if you tell them you're gonna, yeah, we'll clean all it up, during the quote, you should stick a rake or get in there and look and see, because there might be, bro. There might be 20 years of stuff, and now your guys are bringing out tarp load, filling up an entire dump trailer of arborvitae trimming debris. So I'm very clear, and be very clear with the customer, and take your time. That's why you raise your prices, you can take your time, and make sure that that's very, very, very clear, and inspect everything. Always inspect what you expect. So the next thing is remove, prune, transplant any shrubs and perennial plants as needed. Dispose any overgrown or crowding plants. This is all built into the budget. Strip down all existing garden beds by removing old rocks, mulch, removing old fabric, if necessary, and regrade and reshape all garden bed edges. They didn't have a lot of garden beds on the back, but the garden beds in the front were kind of big, so it was priced accordingly. 6, install 136 linear feet of black metal edging with metal stakes around all front yard garden beds, including small garden island and front lawn. 7, install approximately 700 square feet of felt weed barrier fabric with metal staples in front garden beds, including small garden bed, island, and front lawn, and underneath all arborvitae beds around pool and side of house. This is what I typed while actually sitting in the truck. I said, hey, give me a little while. This could take me 30 minutes. I'm going to go sit in my truck. In about 30 minutes, I'll come knock on the door, and I'll have a full quote ready for you right here, right now, because I want this 33%, $6,500 of $19,500 deposit check right now. So do it now. Don't wait on the quotes, especially if they're bigger ticket items, because now with Amazon, I ordered something and it showed up in 4 hours. Speed is value.
Untrapped podcast listeners, ready to get more clients? Footbridge Media helps contractors like you get found online. They create high-converting websites and boost your Google rankings so potential clients can find you. Get the leads you deserve. Visit footbridgemedia.com/Keith to untrap your business.
Decorative stone. Backfill and top dress all completed garden beds with approximately 8 yards of decorative stone, 2 to 3 inches depth. I'm almost done here. Alongside of house, remove existing garden bed and replace and install 26 linear feet of new sod, including lawn repair of any areas around newly installed edging. 10. Meticulous final cleanup of all garden beds and work areas. All debris removed from property, $19,500. So, when you do a job like this, take the time with the customer and break down specifically what they're going to get on what days. So I say, this is how it's going to go. We're going to show up with a 4-man crew on Monday, and we're going to start doing demo and getting the job ready and bringing all the materials on the job site. Day 2, you can expect the whole front garden beds to be done, plants planted, fabric in. Day 3 will be in the backyard and then installing the mulch, the rocks. And then day 4, we'll be here for a half day to do all of the meticulous final cleanup so your property looks like nobody had ever been on it, and we'll follow that. So you let the customers know what they can expect on what days, and then it reflects everything itemized in the quote. And then I also create a text message thread between the husband and the wife. So we're on a thread, and I let them know in text message just quickly I don't do this on tiny jobs, it's a waste of time, but bigger jobs. Hey, day one, we did this, we crushed it, see you tomorrow, and you can expect this. So I just let them know each day what's happening, so we're right on par. And now the customers are like, this is amazing. This guy is so organized that we can just relax and do our thing, because they got it handled, bruh. So that little bit of communication works. It's the craziest thing. We start the job, we're there about a day and a half, we trim all the arborvitaes with the orchard ladder. They look beautiful, precise, like so clean, rake them all out, fill up the dump trailer with all that stuff. And all of a sudden, a construction company shows up on the property and starts doing demolition and tearing up the driveway with machines and ripping out the walkway right where we're installing our landscaping and beautiful garden beds and doing all this work we got to do. I'm like, what is going on? And the customers are like, so they're paying me like 20 grand. Meanwhile, they're spending 100 grand getting crazy stuff done. Like, they wanted a sink in their back pergola they were getting installed. We should get into some luxury outdoor living spaces, right? Just to have that sink, they had to have some special drainage per the city permit. So they're like, well, let's just spend another 20 grand and rip up the whole driveway to install a drain that goes to this specific location. So while this is happening, I was like, this is going to ruin our work. We have to actually stop and leave. And they're like, yeah, we're really, really sorry. I don't know why they did that, but we left the property and it took 6 weeks. So we're doing tons of other jobs. We're crushing it. I'm driving by the property here and there. There's just materials all over the place. We can't even work there now. This is crazy. That's why I'm telling the story. So we come back after 6 weeks. We get them back on the calendar. And we get in. Now the other company's gone. Everything's clean. Brand new cement, everything. And we just start crushing it. And we bang out the job. We get the job done beautifully, impeccably. It was so good. I was taking pictures. We did some videos. The customers were super happy. And halfway through the job when we showed up, you get the second deposit check. Another 33% with the signature. Boom, boom, boom. I got another $6,500. And now, at the end of the job, due upon completion, right on the spot is your final check. It's in the contract. No like net 30, net 45. I understand if you do commercial, it's different, but I'm trying to get paid now. So I tell the customers, at the end of this job, we're going to do a final walk around. And I want my guys to have like literally buckets with their fingertips, any little microscopic pebble, blowing down everything. I want everything so precise that when the customers walk around, they're like, this is amazing, wow. And I'm not physically doing that. My guys are doing that while I'm relaxed. They're happy, they sign off on the job. Like that's what it's supposed to happen. But the weirdest thing happened. We finished the job. Now I'm trying to get a hold of the customers. I can't. They're not coming outside. I'm knocking on the door. They're not answering the door. I'm calling them. They're not picking up. So I text them. So when somebody owes me money, I'm not like crazy or anything, but I'm on top of it. If you don't pay me, you'll be getting a text every 24 hours. You'll be getting an email. You'll be getting reminders to the point where it's like, ugh. So I stay on top of that. We should do that. So I wait a day, my emotions start getting like this. I'm like, dude, that's $6,500. That's a big chunk of our profit. Why are they not responding? Okay, maybe something happened. Maybe they have a family issue. I don't know. You have to stay calm when somebody owes you money and not freak out. Stay calm, because you will put gray hairs on your head by freaking out. I know this. Stay calm. Now a few more days goes by and they're not paying me.
Have you ever been to the Equip Expo? Each year, like 30,000 people gather for the biggest green industry event in America in downtown Louisville, Kentucky. This year, it's October 21st through the 24th. I'd love to see you there, and the coolest thing is you can save 50% off your tickets during checkout on the Equip Expo website by simply typing in promo code KEITH50. Or go to keithkalfas.com/events, go to the Equip Expo tab, save 50% off your tickets now. I'll see you there.
calling them right now. I call them again. They pick up the phone, and the husband and wife are in. They're driving. They have me on speakerphone. And I was like, hey, what's going on? It's Keith. We finished the job. You guys seem very happy. I just wanted to see if we can square up. And they were nervous. I'm like, what's going on? They said, well, we know that we're holding your final payment because we're kind of upset. I was like, what? They said, while you were gone, finishing the job somewhere over the weekend, some other arborist, some tree company came, and they offered to give us a quote. And they looked at our property, and they went in the backyard, and they saw the arborvitae shrubs that you guys trimmed. And they said, now this is the middle of really hot August. It was heat advisory, no rain for like weeks. They said that this other arborist company said that you guys had put our shrubs into shock by over trimming them, and that it's going to cost us $8,500 to fix them. I was like, huh? So I said, I'm coming to your property right now. I show up at their property, I'm with the husband and wife, and I'm standing where the arborvitaes are, and I'm looking, everything is like looking green, it's looking fine, but it's also really, really hot out. I'm like, so what did they say again? So they repeat it to me. I'm like, was this guy a certified arborist? They're like, we don't know. But they said that the only way to fix this is, these shrubs are 28 feet high, was to cut 12 feet off the shrubs, to bring a spider lift in the backyard and top the shrubs by 12 feet, and it's going to be all this crazy work, and it's the only way. And I'm looking at these people like, you kidding me, bro? Like, so I'm sitting here listening, and they don't trust me all of a sudden. I thought we had trust. I say, wait a second. Now, they're just nervous. They don't know. They're naive, right? And this is a moment where I had to reach deep down inside and pull out my what? Grit. My grit. My what? Grit. My grit, bro. I had to stand up for myself, and I don't normally do this. It's easier to turn the other cheek. So they needed to hear it back. I said, wait a second. You told me, I just spent the last 7 weeks knowing you. I know we don't know each other that well, but we were laughing this whole job. We did a great job. Everything's fine. You researched my company before you hired me. You called me and chose me. And why did you choose me? Oh, because you had 150 positive 5-star reviews, because of all these good things, like, right? So you mean to tell me that we've been knowing each other for 7 weeks now, and I was gone for a couple days, and some random guy who doesn't even know me is going to throw me under the bus to try to juice you to get a sale? Like I said, take a look around. I said, look at all your neighbors' shrubs. Look at the trees, the oak trees, the maples way up there. I mean, we're in a subdivision. I said, see, we've been in a heat advisory for about 4 weeks, and it hasn't rained. Everything is kind of curling a little bit, and everything's suffering from heat stress. I said, everything's under heat stress. I think your shrubs need some water, but they're totally fine. And they still didn't believe me. They were scared and holding my money. Then I did something that I had to do because I knew I was going to lose in that minute, and I was going to get straight up ganked. I stood there, and this courage came from inside of me, and I was like, you're going to believe some guy over me? This is bullshit. And as soon as I said that, that's exactly what I said, they like, because I don't cuss at a customer. I said, this is bullshit. And the customers like woke up out of hypnosis. And now they believed me. And they were like, yes, we believe you. They paid me my money, my other $6,500, right there on the spot. They signed off on the job. And now I felt a little nervous, but I was proud of myself because I stood up for myself. And I went back into my truck. I was like, whew. And I was still nervous, but I was like, damn. And the funniest thing happened, I'm out of time here, so I'll just wrap this up right now. It was a few weeks later, I drive by, everything's still beautiful, the shrubs are fine, they're growing like crazy, they need to be trimmed again. But I'm in a restaurant with my wife on date night. We do date night every single Tuesday night without missing, no matter what. We put God first. We put our marriage first, bro. There's no other way to do it. and I love my wife no matter what, dude. I honor and I respect God, the Holy Spirit, Father in heaven. There's no other way. If you were discouraged and depressed or anything, reach through the clouds, and Jesus could be in a meeting, and you're grabbing his ankle. Like, I need you right now, God. And if you do it with a contrite heart and a complete spirit of surrendering and say, you know what? I'm just going to give this a shot, and 100% just surrender right now. And I pray for anybody in this audience who's going through anything, that any stronghold be broken off you right now in the name of Christ Jesus, right now. I mean it 100%. It is broken right now. It is broken. So I'm sitting in the restaurant with my wife, and I look across, and there's the husband and wife, my clients. They're just sitting there peacefully eating. And I was like, honey, those are the people. No, they're really nice people. They didn't mean to cause me any harm, but they were just nervous, right? It's understandable. So I snuck up to the register. I was like, how much are, those people just pay their dinner, and I left a fat tip. And then when we walked out, I saw them. They're like, hey, thank you. And I was like, God bless you. God bless you. So I want to encourage you, reach deep down inside, pull up that faith, and pull up that grit. Honor God when times are good, but when times are bad. I recently had to give my dog CPR for 15 minutes, and he died in my arms and had a heart attack. And it was traumatizing. And you know what I started doing? I started praising God and having gratitude and saying, thank you for this beautiful experience. Like, I'm telling you right now, you have everything that it takes. You have it inside of you. This right now is the demarcation line that you choose in this moment. You don't tolerate not what's going on out there, but also what's inside of yourself, anything. And your tongue is a sword. Don't speak negativity. Don't do it behind other people's backs, and don't do it about yourself. Be very careful what you say, because everything is being documented and it's being written. Be very careful what you say. Honor God above all. And then the third thing, because I have to get off here, is don't compare yourself to other people. I don't have time to tell this story, but I recently heard about somebody that I looked up to a lot that basically, I don't look up to that person anymore. And I got on the phone with a spiritual advisor of mine, and I was like, how can this be? This person I look up to so much. Like, it wasn't anything like terrible, but I was like, I looked up to this person. How could they do that? And my spiritual advisor told me, this is a lesson to you right now, to never, ever, ever compare yourself to other men, because the grass is not greener on the other side. It's a barren wasteland. The grass is greener where you water it. When you walk into your purpose, your mission and mandate for your life, and you focus on you and do your own unique thing, you will prosper abundantly and have fulfillment at a level you would have been miserable over there. And they'll be looking at you saying, I want to be like that guy. I'm telling you the truth, and this is the truth. God bless all of you. I'm Keith Kalfas. I love all of you. And that's the end of my talk. Thank you. Yo, I just got off stage. I just want to say, when times are tough, you need to honor God and pull up and have that grit. Grit. Today's the demarcation line where you decide that you're changed. You got this. Peace.